going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Hour right here on Premier Wrestling's YouTube channel. Dave Sturchio, Josh Shernoff, back in the house, back in the saddle, because we keep on trucking each and every week. It's your catchphrase. I'm gonna have to just embrace it. You know, once upon a time,
you're gonna unbrace it.
I said embrace it.
No,
all right. Once upon a time, I was like force fed a catchphrase, have you, during my injury recovery, and I
knew that Dave Destruction thing was not your idea.
That was my
There's
idea.
no way something so what?
That was.
Oh, what were you saying?
It was D-Struction. Kind of looks like my last name. It's not where I got it from, but whatever. Anyway, I digress. We got ourselves another banger of a show.
No. What was the thing you were starting to say before?
Well, you were
force-fed something.
I was force-fed a catchphrase that really never caught on.
Banger?
No, banger catches on. No, just ask the sales team over at Pro Wrestling Tees.
Hey, it is flying off the proverbial shelves.
Yes,
so
it is.
I give you credit for that.
Yes.
The one that's that people like the most, though, is the one that has my face on it.
Your silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It's a shirt about a show. That's a really good show. Your silhouette's on it, too, but it's good. It's a good shirt. People are buying it.
Yeah,
which
they
is
are.
Nice.
They are. You can check out all of our fantastic merchandise over there at ProWrestlingTees.com/Premier Wrestling. And so Shernoff and all
So
that.
what was your thing? What was your thing?
Man, that's fresh. Horrible, right?
Wow.
Horrible. Man. And it was the Bush League promoter, not Pat Buck.
Kevin?
His friend. No.
Oh.
No, he didn't help promote back then. No, it was the other schmuck who said it, popped himself, and I just had to roll with it because I was a young guy. And
just
I was
to quote you, not the schmuck Pat Buck. It was the other schmuck, you said? So you're calling Pat Buck a schmuck.
I didn't say that.
Whew.
Did I say that?
Disagree. I love Pat Buck.
First of all.
So
there's nobody who respects Pat more than I do. And almost to an intolerable level where people just like, shut up already. We get it.
Yep. That's fun. You're one of those people. That's actually that's some of the comments that we've gotten on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that?
They asked you please to shut up. Stop talking about Pat Buck.
Yeah, well, listen. If it wasn't for Pat, I'm not sitting in this chair. So there's one more homage to Mr. Buckaroo. Listen, we got ourselves a fantastic show. Another loaded show right here on the Wrestling Hour. I know a lot of people enjoyed last week. Those two matches that we put together were incredible. But guess what? We're going to try to top it. We're going to try to top it right here on the Wrestling Hour today, starting with a triple threat tag team match from the same Brian Pillman Memorial Show that we showed you last week, which featured John Cena versus Randy Orton. Get ready for this star-studded lineup. It is none other than E&C themselves, Edge and Christian, taking on who better than Kanyon? And, of course, Diamond Dallas Page. And, of course, Team Extreme, the Hardy Boyz. Like, you guys are probably wondering, how in the blue hell did these guys get their hands on this match? Well, guess what? Stop asking questions and enjoy this match. It's coming up right here, right now.
Hold on. Stop asking questions. You're implying, how'd you get your hands on it? Well, we stole it, but don't say it. We didn't steal it.
I didn't say
this is part of the Premier Library, courtesy of our good friend Joe Dombrowski.
Yes.
Who I have the pleasure of doing commentary with coming up at Squared Circle Expo.
That's next week, right? Or is that tomorrow?
That is at the end of this month.
End of this
month.
month.
A couple weeks left, but looking forward to doing that. Joe and I did commentary together back in the day, and
gun to your head, who would you rather do commentary with, me or Joe?
Of course, Joe. I mean, no, I'd have to think about that.
Oh, okay. It's funny how that works out. But anyway, a banger of a triple threat tag team match coming to you right now on the Wrestling Hour.
Can we get a banger counter?
Ding.
Like every time you say banger, you have to put a coin in.
Introducing first, accompanying by Lita, weighing in at a total of 440 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boyz.
And Les, at least for a night, Team Extreme is 5 strong.
Absolutely.
We got Brittany and Brian Jr., the Pillman clan, making their entrance with one of the hottest acts in all the business right now, the Hardy Boyz and Lita.
Yeah, how's that for walking in high cotton, as they say, right?
There you go. Matt Hardy, the reigning WWF European champion at this point. You can see he's proudly wearing that around his waist.
Team number 2.
And the Hardy Boyz are going to enter a battle with a team that they've already made some history with over the past couple of years. Let's go to Steve. Well, Les, it was October of 1999 when the Hardy Boyz and Edge and Christian first set the wrestling world on its ear with a memorable ladder match at the No Mercy pay-per-view. Since then, we've seen ladder matches, table matches, TLC matches. The ante keeps growing between the Hardy Boyz and Edge and Christian. What a huge get for you to bring that rivalry to the Pillman Show.
And now we're going to see a wrestling match.
Yeah!
Yeah. And another addition to this, it comes the final announcement.
Indeed. So you see Edge, who's just a couple of years away from mega stardom as a world champion and the Rated R Superstar. At this point, I mean, along with the Dudleys, easily the 3 hottest teams in the industry.
Edge came in and did a shot for us at a two-nighter for HWA when he was just beginning to be Edge, and I said, "Who is Edge?" He said, "I don't know."
Let's go to meet Team 3. Well, let's get one half of that team at this point, and it's a dual champion. Kanyon was gifted the United States Championship by Booker T on an episode of Smackdown. Meanwhile, he and Diamond Dallas Page had captured the WWF World Tag Team Championship at this point in time. I believe they were in the midst of a rivalry with The Undertaker and Kane around this point in time. And Kanyon was also calling himself the MVP of the Invasion. Let's go back to DeAngelis.
And his tag team partner, also representing the Alliance, weighing in at 253 pounds, Diamond Dallas Page.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's DDP in the main event of Pillman 01 along with his longtime friend and rival Chris Kanyon.
And of course, Chris has left us. And what a good guy. He really was. He really was.
And Kanyon's one of those guys that is certainly, I've talked with many people in the industry. If he were around today, he'd be having a huge money run with the more of appreciation for his style that exists today, with the love of nostalgia on the independents. I think Kanyon and Mortis would have a second or third run in them.
Yeah.
And also the progression and development of so many young LGBT wrestlers on the independents that Kanyon was a forerunner for.
Right, exactly. And, of course, this is the last match of our journey through these 4 shows.
I'm out of breath, Wes.
Oh, man. If you haven't seen any good wrestling here, then you haven't had your eyes open, is all I could say.
I can't even tell you off the top of my head how many hours we've been sitting here, but I've enjoyed every second of it, and I have no doubt these 6 are going to send us home on a high note.
And as we watch this, I know, we're slowly closing this whole set of shows out. I can't even begin to mention all the names of the people that it took. Obviously, all the wrestlers, God love them for giving their time and effort for no pay, just to honor one of the fallen brothers, to help his family, and the volunteers. The people behind the scenes.
Hold on, Kanyon, at the mic. Kanyon and DDP are complaining about the fans wanting a 5-second pose from Edge and Christian, and Kanyon, you saw he used a pose with both middle fingers.
Wonder if Austin's got that patented.
Should we call him?
Is there a patent infringement here?
But yeah, I mean, just the support staff, and just knowing from my experience on running events on obviously a much smaller level than this, the amount of manpower it takes, and just how difficult it is to find good help.
Sure.
It's a tongue-in-cheek expression, but it's true. I mean, find...
the company that let us use the limousines and the vans to pick the people up at the airport and transport them around, and the caterer, we used the same caterer all 4 years, that were just right there, man, knew what we needed after the first year, and never wanted for anything. It's kind of a dream for me, and to actually sit here and watch all this, and as I've said 100 times, I'm sure, over at least 4 shows, that I'm seeing things I didn't see because I was, busy elsewhere and involved in running this outfit. But over these 4 shows, we raised over $120,000
That's huge.
for the Brian Pillman Memorial Fund.
And Les, it looks like we may not get a main event after all because Kanyon and Page.
No.
Well, let's go to
As
Edge.
much as you people want to see a totally terrific 5-second pose, even better than that, we want to kick their WCW asses. So get back here.
Kanyon and Page have said, we'll leave if there's a 5-second pose. Edge says, well, we'd rather beat the heck out of you anyway. So action apparently will resume with WWF versus WWF versus Alliance.
I got one
Page.
question for you first. Who better than Kanyon?
I thought the Democratic debate was over.
Do you agree, Les, that there is in fact nobody better than Kanyon?
No.
Okay. Well,
I don't agree.
he tried.
He did.
But it's going to be Kanyon and Matt Hardy starting out one-on-one here. Triple threat, one fall, tag team action. First fall is going to win this thing. Kanyon, called by many the innovator of offense for a lot that he's been able to do. Of course, ironically enough, Kanyon helped originate the flatliner the flatliner finishing move that was later adopted by Edge in the WWF. So, interesting parallel in the early going. I believe that was Jeff Hardy that threw some water at Kanyon. Brother Matt is waiting to get a hold of Kanyon and Page, who are certainly the away team here in more ways than one. They're representing the Alliance and certainly the antagonists in this matchup. So many of these fans have so much respect for the Hardys, for Edge and Christian, everything they've done, all the sacrifices they've made, and Kanyon and Page are swimming upstream right now.
Against the current.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see what Kanyon and Hardy bring to the table here. Collar elbow tie-up. And
You're looking for I started saying Edge, and no, we've already got one.
There you
go.
But
no, actually, Kanyon and Dallas, I guess, would be the least experienced of the three teams. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Edge and Chris have been together since the Indies, and of course, the Hardy Boyz, obviously, they've been together since birth.
Yeah, and there's a unique roll-up with a bridge by Kanyon, trying to keep Hardy down. Kanyon pretty proud of himself. But Matt is measuring Kanyon the hard right hand. Matt always throws a hell of a fist, and Kanyon on the receiving end, neck breaker nicely done. Hardy continues to measure Kanyon, who is seeking salvation from Page.
And you know the great thing about Matt is he's not broken or woken.
He is not.
No, thank God.
He hasn't even entered the era of Mattitude yet.
No.
And tagging the DDP at this time, easily the most decorated athlete in this match. 3-time world champion. We saw him deliver the diamond cutter to Shane Douglas at Pillman 2000. And
popped up just recently on AEW, but the DDP yoga is. I've never used it, but I've heard nothing but positive stuff.
Yeah, I know it's worked wonders for the likes of Jerry Briscoe. He swears by it. I know it's been credited by Chris Jericho as prolonging his career. And DDP had one last match in his mid-60s on AEW TV. That's big. And also big there was Page tagging Christian before sneaking out, forcing the WWF teams to do battle. And we know, as we've documented, there's rich history here. And Hardy and Christian don't want to fight one another. They want to take it to those WCW invaders.
Hey,
well, let's go to Christian.
I might be wrong, but I think I heard some people over here calling you guys a pussy.
Well, Christian trying to get under the skin of Page and Kanyon with some of these chants from these fans. And inferring in slightly more terse terms that maybe Page and Kanyon are a bit scared.
You think?
Just a tad, just a smidge.
Excuse me.
I think Matt Hardy got the mic.
If the two of you don't want to wrestle, it's probably because you suck like the rest of WCW. So you know what? I know everyone came out to the Pillman show tonight to be entertained. We've wrestled Christian and Edge once before. You know, if you've ever heard of it, there's a little ladder match in the history, TLC. A few things like that. as this crowd said before, if you two want to stay outside and be, we'll go ahead and entertain everybody here by wrestling one another.
All right, so if Kanyon and Page don't want to play ball, this is going to turn into a tag team match with the Hardys versus Edge and Christian. The two WWF teams want to give these fans their money's worth and give them a hell of a main event, and if Page and Kanyon won't cooperate, and it can appear that they're not, Page and Kanyon with front row seats to watch the action.
We forgot to collect their money. Those are got to be more expensive than the VIP stuff is behind the barriers, right?
Oh, let's add it to the check. Hardy with a side headlock on Christian. And again, this rivalry, these two teams kind of came up together in the WWF from young hopeful rookies to established popular teams. And it's Christian and Matt center ring. Matt gets the shoulders down for 2. Christian quickly escapes. Both these teams know each other very, very well. Christian looking for the unprettier in the early going. Hardy counters. Matt going twist of fate. Christian rolls free. Backslide now. Shoulders down. Hardy escapes. And you can see how well these two men know one another and the great respect from these fans here in Cincinnati as well.
You have a beard, huh? I'm not buying it until you buy.
Madcap Beard Care.
I like this hat. I also like this beard care. That's why I'm teaming up with Madcap Beard Care.
It's one of my favorite products and smells.
A portion of the proceeds go back to save and rescue cats, which is pretty amazing.
Enjoy the products. They are absolutely amazing.
This premium beard oil, baby, oh yeah, you can only get it from where?
MadcapBeardCare.com to buy you some of the most delicious smelling beard products in the world. Delicious, Frisco, bourbon, good. You heard it, it's delicious, Frisco bourbon.
For real, I use this stuff every day. It's fantastic. I put it in my hair too, guys.
You want a beautiful, perfect beard like the Indie God? Pick up some Indie God beard care right now from Madcap.
And Kanyon and Page got a bit jealous of the attention, but break back to their chairs.
There's an old adage about either or get off the pot, right?
Well, I think there is, yeah. And Edge has been tagged in, and Jeff Hardy tagged in.
Suck. He's not from Ohio.
Page taking cheap shots at the Great Buckeye State now.
Well, that I can't handle that.
Well,
and if I'd have been somewhere around that ring, I'd have told the sound guy cut the mics. That way, these guys actually have to wrestle.
That is the objective, from what I understand.
Yeah, I heard that.
Edge and Jeff Hardy, of course, not just the tag team rivalry, but one-on-one as well. They'd have a lot of classic, memorable matches for world championships. As we see these men tie up, Edge and Jeff, arguably the most successful of their respective teams, as Edge elbows out of a hammerlock. The charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, able to reverse. Edge elevates Hardy, great sense of balance on the apron, able to push Edge down. Jeff Hardy going to take a chance. It's where he feels most at home on that top turnbuckle. Edge out of the way to avoid the contact. Jeff sweeps the legs. Jackknife pin. Edge bridges upward.
Nice switch and going for didn't get the backslide, missed the clothesline, missed the drop kicks.
And again, a testament to how well both teams know one another. And Kanyon and DDP, a quick golf clap, and they're back off the apron. And Edge and Jeff have had enough. Their patience has been spent. DDP and Kanyon hit each other like the Three Stooges, and we're off to the races here. With Jeff and Edge. Wait, Jeff, the opportunist. Jeff and Edge are still legal, and Jeff almost won this first team. That's great wherewithal by Jeff Hardy.
Yes. Adjust to the situation.
Edge gets the foot up in the corner. And Page, the opportunist, with a clothesline, and went for Edge, but Kanyon caught Edge on the rebound. And Kanyon tags himself in on Edge. There will be 2 men legal in the ring at the time, by the way. And right now it's Kanyon and Hardy, and Page takes the opportunity to send Hardy into the rail a second time. And it could be a big feather in the cap for the reigning World Tag Team Champions Kanyon and Page. Those titles are not on the line tonight. And Hardy finds himself in a bad way with Chris, positively Kanyon.
I don't remember reading the rule book where I don't want to be in a match, but now I want to be in a match, and maybe I won't want to be in it later. But there must be something there, right?
That's true. Kanyon springs in with the elbow, and, well, I mean, they weren't necessarily breaking any rules. They weren't legal. They didn't have to be in the match at that point, but they certainly waited to pick their spot.
They certainly did, didn't
As
they?
Kanyon tags in Diamond Dallas Page. Here's some double teaming. Page goes downstairs. Kanyon, variation of a Russian leg sweep, and Page down with the elbow. Shoulders down on Jeff Hardy. To count only. You notice the forearm draped across the face as well. A little extra insult to injury by DDP. Jeff trying to squirm away. Now, Jeff can tag anybody here. He doesn't have to be his brother Matt. He can tag Edge or Christian as well to get some salvation. But Dallas Page not letting Jeff get near any of the Team WWF corners. DDP at this point on television has had major problems with the American Badass, The Undertaker. Page playing mind games with The Undertaker by stalking Undertaker's wife. Belly-to-belly suplex by Page, but there's a cover for 2. But all those machinations aside, that really wasn't the best way to introduce DDP to that particular audience, Les. I think the DDP you and I know certainly is that of the reputation of the hardest-working man in WCW who, against all odds, became a 3-time world champion.
Maybe he's working for another designation as the least working man.
Maybe tonight, right?
I don't know.
Kanyon, that stalling suplex on Jeff Hardy, and Hardy falls. Kanyon quickly into the cover, and again, the forearm across the face, 2 count only, and certainly that's, as I said, insult to injury as well, as far as when you're covering somebody, as you see Matt cheering on Jeff Hardy as Kanyon wears him down with a chin lock.
We've settled into a match here, I think, now.
We have.
Yes. All 6 participants are actually on the apron or in the ring.
Well, that's a good qualification to have. And
yeah, not seated at ringside or...
Hardy is to his feet now, looking to quicken this pace perhaps. Kanyon counters, beautiful neck breaker off the hip toss counter. Hardy's down. 2 count only, says Scott Dickinson, and Edge comes in to interrupt because keep in mind, or rather Christian does, it is 1 fall to a finish. If Kanyon pins Jeff, then Edge and Christian lose as well. Page back in. And Diamond Dallas, at this point, was already in his mid to late 40s, but looks incredible for his age, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, sure.
And, well, that's not going to make you look good.
I don't know how many of those I've counted tonight.
Quite a fair amount.
Too many. 1 is too many.
And DDP is in trouble as Jeff Hardy being willed on by Lita, by Matt. Well, Matt's been knocked off the apron here at some point. Edge made the tag. Dickinson didn't see it. Kanyon had the referee. Edge complaining about Dickinson missing the call, but nothing he can do. You can't call what you don't see, and that allows Kanyon to be the opportunist and punish Hardy behind the back of everybody. Kanyon hooks the leg, and Hardy barely kicks out. One thing we know about Jeff Hardy is the incredible resiliency he possesses and his ability to withstand incredible amounts of punishment, and he'll need to have that in a big way here as he's being double-teamed quite frequently, 2-on-1, frequent tags, tag team chemistry by 2 of the best in the game today, Kanyon and DDP. Hardy gets the foot up. Both feet up this time. Hardy looked to quicken the pace. Kanyon counters. Northern Light suplex on the tips of his toes. And so a bridge that good is very, very difficult to carry out, isn't it, Les?
Yes, it is. And there's a good reason not to wear a belt. It gives the guy something to hang on to and drag your ass back in the corner.
There you go. And Paige in now toying with Jeff Hardy. Hardy not showing much movement here. Paige with a cover again finds 2. But the longer Jeff Hardy is in this ring, the more you can sense him fading, and the closer to a potential demise here, and a Team Alliance victory as Paige drives Hardy down to the canvas hard. 2 count, and again, Edge interrupts. Hardy is, you gotta believe Jeff Hardy's on the brink of defeat here. We got 3 fresh men on the right side of the screen, and Paige is picking on Dickinson for being late to the draw. Man, Paige and Kanyon just do whatever the hell they want, don't they?
They seem to, don't they?
And Hardy counters that time. Paige went back to that takedown, but Hardy caught DDP with the jawbreaker, and this could be the turning point Jeff Hardy needs if he can find a fresh man on Team WWF.
Heading for the wrong corner there, Jeffrey. Turn it around. There you go.
Jeffrey Nero Hardy finds his brother Matt, and Matt and Kanyon the legal men. And it's Hardy the power slam. The cover hook of the leg, and DDP bails out Kanyon. And Paige getting in the face of Dickinson again. Come on now, what's he done to you? Dickinson trying to lay down the law. DDP may think he's above the law, but nothing doing. Wait a minute! Diamond cutter to Scott Dickinson!
Oh, man.
Dickinson got dropped. And any danger, yeah, he felt the bang all right. But here comes Edge and Christian. And mocking DDP. And look at this.
The Hardys and Christian and Edge are teaming together.
Yeah, it's that WWF loyalty against that WCW alliance in the summer of 2001. And while that particular rivalry, I think, is looked at and panned by many insiders as one of the biggest disappointments in wrestling history, we're getting a hell of a hidden gem from that here tonight. Christian the inverted DDT. Matt Hardy, Team Extreme, hits the leg drop. And on the other side, Edge channeling Matt Hardy, a base for Jeff, to collide with the legs.
Wait a minute, Lita, what's she going to do?
Whatever the hell she wants.
Oh, okay.
Lita Kanrana! And Kanyon, out on his feet. Edge hits the execution, and the exclamation point comes with a Jeff Hardy Swanton Bomb. Dickinson back in the ring. The Hardy Boyz win it for Team WWF.
Joseph, it's been a hell of a trip, my friend.
To say the least, let's get the word. The Hardy Boyz, the official winners here tonight, and that caps off Pillman 2001. It caps off the Brian Pillman Memorial Anthology. We have seen a little bit of everything over this 4-year span. And before we get our last words, we may get the last words from these performers if any of them decide to talk, I'm not sure. But, my God, the level of star power. Just dozens and dozens of internationally renowned names, past, present, and future, all together with one common goal. And there you see the Michael Hayes-inspired fist bump in there, as Edge, Christian, Lita, Jeff, and Matt in here doing it for the WWF, doing it for themselves. But as we said, all anthologies.
Look at that, Adi. I'm sitting there thinking, damn, we had a lot of people.
They're doing it for Brian Pillman. Keep in mind, flying Brian Pillman in the early 90s, his matches with Jushin Thunder Liger, before WCW's cruiserweights were called the cruiserweights. He was innovating that style in this country that would inspire the Edge and Christians, the Hardy Boyz, the Shark Boys, and so many more. And let's go to Edge for his words.
All you people leaving, get back in your seats.
I'm tired of I would have cut them off way back, and they would have hated me.
You know what? It sounds to me like these people want to see a 5-second pose. Am I hearing this right? So, Hardy Boyz, Lita, I think Christian has an idea.
I can't see a more fitting way to end this show than to give all these people a 5-second pose with the Hardy Boyz and Lita. What do you say?
You know what, Edge Christian? That would totally reek of awesomeness.
Well, the start of the matchup, DDP and Kanyon wouldn't give him the 5-second pose, but Edge and Christian and Team Extreme give the audience a moment to remember at the end of Pillman 2001, a pose that will stand the test of time.
Okay.
And Les, thank you so much for letting us climb into these archives and, I would say relive, but for so many of us, live for the first time a truly historic time in pro wrestling and events that will never be replicated and duplicated for how much they meant to the community, to certainly the memory of Brian Pillman, and to the industry as a whole.
Man, I'm just so proud of everybody. I am. The people, so many numbers behind the scenes and in the ring, and yeah, it's been a hell of a trip, and I've enjoyed it, and I hope that those of you watching it have enjoyed it as much as we have.
Hey, one last thing I want to say. Sure, I know a lot of people here know Matt and Jeff Hardy are baby faces, no Edge and Christian are heels, King of the Ring. But one thing I want to say to you guys, thank you for a great career in the wrestling business. You've made us, and I think we've made you with 3 letters, TLC, and these people respect the hell out of that, and for that, I respect the hell out of each and every one of you. Thank you, Brian Pillman.
And Edge ends it with the 4 words that truly matter in all this. Thank you, Brian Pillman. Brian, this was all for you. Thank you for your contributions. The business has never been the same.
Unbelievable match. Triple threat tag. They don't really get much better. Where do you rank guys like Edge and Christian on the all-time list? I know we kind of brought that up a couple weeks back with the whole like Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling. Edge and Christian have been doing it forever. Now they've gone their separate ways. They're both over there at AEW doing their thing. But when you look at Edge and Christian, I'm talking prime Edge and Christian. Are they on your Mount Rushmore of greatest tag teams of all time?
Well, look, everybody has. We've talked about it before. It's subjective, but everybody has, that theory that a tag team has a Shawn Michaels and a Marty Jannetty.
Oof,
right?
You're gonna go there?
Everybody says that.
Okay,
the tag teams. That's kind of a standard thing. Even if it's not as Jannetty-esque as Marty Jannetty's career went, you look at the Hart Foundation, favorite tag team of all time, right?
Are they?
They're my favorite of all time. Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Now, Jim the Anvil Neidhart was a star, a legend, a Hall of Famer, but Bret Hart was the world champion. He went to that next level in the
Michaels and Jannetty, like you just said, that happens.
Right. You look at the British Bulldogs back in the day. Davey Boy Smith became a singles, competitor, saw different success. So that does happen. Edge and Christian, I can't think of another tag team where both men went on to create completely unique careers, where they both went on to become multi-time world champions.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but keep going.
I just can't think of it. So from a tag team wrestling standpoint, hands down, they got to be on the Mount Rushmore.
I think so too.
And then overall, looking at them, tag team wrestling and where it went for their careers, they may be one of the greatest success stories of a tag team of all time.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've put on incredible matches on the biggest of stages, TLC, ladder matches galore. Like, they've done it all, right?
And now they've been here.
And in that same breath, and now they're on the Wrestling Hour. And in that same breath, you got the Hardys in this match. Mm-hmm. Some could say that, like, you look at Jeff and Matt, and you're like, well, they're both still at it, and they're both. Look, did they lose a couple steps over the years? Yeah, that's what happens when you're doing death-defying things week in and week out for your entire careers. But Jeff and Matt Hardy have respectively both won individual championships. So there's one team that you could possibly say has kind of done their own thing. I look at the Hardys and I always think Jeff maybe a little bit on the more athletic side, but then you can't have Jeff without Matt. The Hardy Boys were incredible their entire way. The entire way they did it. And then you throw together DDP and Kanyon, which again, DDP, what a story.
2/3 of the triad, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Remember that? Oh, that's crazy.
The New Jersey triad.
Listen, Jersey zone, right? I mean, look, we're recording this in New Jersey. This is one of those.
Where are we?
Yes, we're in New Jersey, man. Oh. All this green screen stuff.
Call my manager.
Yeah, tell him you're lost. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed that match. It was an absolute banger of a triple threat tag team match.
Do Jersey.
So now what we want to do
about this.
Stop texting.
We don't do Jersey.
You do Jersey. That's where exactly was your showcase was located in New Jersey. How about that?
No, that's not what I heard.
I mean, it's Metuchen, so it's New Jersey.
Shouldn't be Metuchen without being asked permission.
Anywho, listen, Tommy D, guess what?
Oh,
he's
God.
back, and he's going to let everybody know what's happening this week on Premiere.
I'm just every week. I think people at home are even getting frustrated. Like, oh, here we go. It's Tommy D. Josh is going to get upset at Tommy D.
He's an endearing guy.
And they're gonna banter and all that. So at this point in time, I'm choosing to retire from the anti-Tommy D crowd because it's not helping. I've tried everything I possibly can to make sure that everybody knows that Tommy D does not belong here. But
you just can't help yourself.
He's still here. And you know what? I give him credit.
You feeling all right?
I'm going to give him credit because he shows up every week and, like clockwork, recites 75% coherent information.
You can't help yourself, bro.
I'm just being honest here.
Help yourself.
If you need a guy to tell you which RVD podcast is on this week while telling you about the one from 2 weeks ago, that's Tommy D. If you need a guy to shamelessly plug Fight Factory,
which is the best show on this entire thing. So let's not be.
Which is the second best show on this entire thing.
All right,
this
fine.
is a better show.
I'm proud to be a part of number 1 and number 2, by the way.
You're definitely a number 2.
Just get off the Tommy D thing. All right, let's just let the guy breathe a little bit. Okay?
Look, he tries. So.
What are you, A for effort type guy? Like, let him go.
No,
Anyway,
I'm not an A for effort. I'm not like you. Give everybody
Tommy.
a trophy for just trying. That's your thing, not
Says
mine.
the guy with a self-presented trophy.
Won it.
Against?
Forget it.
Against, can't put my finger on none of the opponents.
No, I was not unopposed. Everybody had an opportunity for accomplishment of the year. Accomplishment of the year.
Yeah,
Got Jerry Lynn a picture.
Voting section,
you know what the accomplishment of the year is going to be this year? Bringing the cast of Boy Meets World back together.
Oh, you got to get off this, dude. We talked about it last week. We don't have to talk about it again.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Tommy
and you know what?
Take it over. Go do your thing.
All
Enough
right.
with the Ben Savage stuff. Go.
Thanks, Dave. Hello, everybody. I can't believe we're still watching matches from the Brian Pillman Memorial Show. What an amazing match between Edge and Christian, Kanyon and DDP, and of course the Hardy Boys. To check out the entire Brian Pillman Memorial Show lineup, you can see it only here on Premier Wrestling YouTube. So a few weeks back, myself, Dave, and Chris Payne at the Fight Factory dropped the biggest news that we possibly could. We are now promoters in the professional wrestling game. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. You will be able to see our promotion on future events here on the Premier Streaming YouTube. Well, that's all that we have this week, guys. Be sure to stick around for the Wrestling Hour. AJ Styles is going to be going up against a professional wrestler turned commentator, and not Josh Shernoff. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Corey Matthews. I mean, Tommy D.
I wish he would take a page out of Corey Matthews' book and ghost us. No longer talk to us.
I still can't get
Be
over
gone.
that. I still.
It's upsetting.
It really is.
Why hasn't anyone asked him? Ben Savage is off doing political things. Why isn't anybody bringing up, what kind of journalists do we have in this world that nobody's bringing up to him? Hey, why haven't you spoken to Topanga lately? It's time.
That's somebody I just would not leave on red. It's Topanga, for the love of God.
No.
You
will never have the opportunity. But I talked to her
never
the
say
other
never.
week.
Never.
I
talked to Topanga.
She's a friend.
Stop it.
She's a friend of a
She's
friend.
not of a friend.
She's
not a friend of anybody's friend.
Really?
You're not the acclaimed. She doesn't like you.
Wait.
She doesn't know you exist. Get off your little boy crush right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, it's
First
over.
of all, I'm a man, damn it.
Oh.
I am all man here, and I don't have to have a crush. I'm happily married.
Good for you.
By the way, sorry to hear about your marriage, but
whoa.
After that, I thought there was an episode a few weeks back.
What?
Where you said you were fine, and then I just assumed your wife watched it and left you. But Topanga, I got your back.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of this. Wow.
I love you.
To Topanga? You might want to, you have apologies to make to your wife. Unless Topanga, is she on your list?
You got a list?
Well, I got it in here. I'm not dumb enough to bring it up to my wife, but I got it in here. It's my ask forgiveness list.
Oh my God.
Are you okay? Clyde, can we get him water?
Clyde. Well, guess what, guys? There's more wrestling here on the Wrestling Hour. We could talk about Boy Meets World for days, weeks, if you let Josh. But we won't. We won't do that.
I'm not ashamed of that.
No, but listen, again, great show. All right, great show, great cast, except for Ben Savage all of a sudden, who just doesn't want to.
And he was great. It's a misunderstanding. Here's the thing. It's a misunderstanding. That's why I'm not anti-Ben Savage. Ben Savage, nephew of the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Look, all I'm saying is Ben Savage, there's a misunderstanding.
Clear it up.
Maybe he dropped his phone and deleted all of his things. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
I got to bring this all back because
we're going to get to the bottom of this.
I'm off the Topanga train or choo-choo. We got more wrestling, and there are more wrestling's coming up right now. And guess what? It's another classic match. We've shown once upon a time on this show a little AJ Styles action, right? We have. But now you're going to see him in a whole nother element. Why? Because look, and I can relate to a guy like Sterling James Keenan, okay? Otherwise known as Corey Graves. Corey Graves, once upon a time, and if you didn't know this, educate yourselves. He was in ring. He was a professional wrestler. He still is a professional wrestler at heart. And now he's delivering amazing commentary over there on Friday Night SmackDown for the WWE. And I can relate to injuries, shortening your career a little bit, but just taking another role, taking another job and responsibility and really, really embracing it. Because now look, Josh, he is at WrestleMania. He is on the grandest stage of them all. And you know what? His wrestling career, his in-ring career was cut short, and that sucks. But here on the Wrestling Hour, we're here to tell you that we're not going to forget about the in-ring action that Corey Graves once upon a time
Because nobody knows more about getting your in-ring career cut short than the two of us here at the Wrestling
Exactly.
Hour.
That's what I'm trying to say. I can relate a little bit. 100%. But yeah, Corey Graves, an amazing star in and outside the ring. And tonight, you get to watch him do battle with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Coming up right now on the Wrestling Hour.
Crowd once again at a fever pitch as we have our final quarterfinal round matchup of 1 PW All or Nothing. Bell is sounded. Final quarterfinal round match is Sterling James Keenan against the phenomenal AJ Styles. Unquestionably one of the odds-on favorites. If you're hard-pressed, I know you're hard-pressed to do it, but if you're pressured to pick a favorite, AJ's got to be one of them.
Sterling James Keenan came here in October, unfamiliar to most of these fans, and they have taken notice of him, not just for his control over the Monster Abyss, but also for his own actions in the ring. Beating D'Lo Brown, beating Ulf Harman, beating Sabu in a tag match. Sterling James Keenan is bound for glory, bound for greatness. Is this the first step? Is beating AJ Styles, moving on to the second round, possibly winning? Is he going to win the 1PW World Title Tournament?
He very well could. I mean, look at the mental control he has over the Monster Abyss so far. You know Sterling James Keenan is a calculated master of psychology in there, and will definitely use that to his advantage at any time he feels he needs to, including against AJ Styles. Not the first time these two men have crossed paths in 1PW. Sterling getting involved in a matchup with Abyss back in a cruel twist of fate. Bad blood still stemming from that leading up into this match. But what about the winner? The winner has to face Samoa Joe in round 2. Would you be looking forward to that?
Why would you? Why would you look forward to standing in the middle of a street while a Mack truck runs you over?
It will be Abyss versus Christopher Daniels in just a few moments. But right now we're focusing on who will meet Samoa Joe in the second round of the All or Nothing Championship Tournament. Deep arm down and tightly clasping onto that armbar is AJ Styles.
Styles firmly in control here. Do you think Keenan might be intimidated by Styles in this setting?
Sterling reaches his feet, however. Right hands to the jaw. Charging in. Leapfrogging. Sterling knows the setup. Leapfrog. Drop kick. Sterling went head first into the barrier. Correct me if I'm wrong, but does AJ have a busted nose or a busted lip?
Busted lip at least. No, that's from the nose.
And that's a hard kick right to the spine. A phenomenal AJ Styles. He may have a broken nose here. He's heavily favoring that.
Not quite sure where in the match that happened, but blood slowly trickling down from the nose. A distraction.
Could have been one of those sharp jabs to the face from Sterling that might have done it. AJ gonna send him in. Elevates him into a hard backbreaker. Cover. Doing a kick out.
That really is. I think you're right, Joe. I think that is broken. That is really bothering Styles. He keeps touching at his nose, grabbing it like his sinuses are blocked.
Look out. Sterling sent hard into that corner. Look out. Delayed suplex. Beautifully done. 2. Kick out.
Styles always very intense, gritting his teeth right now. I think he might be having trouble breathing through his nose.
You have a beard, huh? I'm not buying it until you buy
Madcap Beard Care.
I like this hat. I also like this beard care. That's why I'm teaming up with Madcap Beard Care.
It's one of my favorite products and smells.
A portion of the proceeds go back to save and rescue cats, which is pretty amazing.
Enjoy the products. They are absolutely amazing.
this premium beard oil, baby. Oh yeah, you can only get it from where?
ManCatBeardCare.com to buy you some of the most delicious smelling beard products in the world. Delicious, Frisco, bourbon, good. You heard it, it's delicious, Frisco bourbon.
For real, I use this stuff every day. It's fantastic. I put it in my hair too, guys.
You want a beautiful, perfect beard like the Indie God? Pick up some Indie God beard care right now from Madcap.
Despite being clearly hindered by that nose in the early going, Styles able to refocus his efforts and stay on top of Sterling. Look out. Right up and over the referee. Mute. Below the belt. Referee never saw it. Turns it. Inside out with the clothesline. Lateral press. Two and a kick out.
Remsburg, cowering for his life in between the ropes, had absolutely no way seeing the mule kick. Maybe I shouldn't say that so loud. I don't want him to hear us.
Well, hey, you can't call it, you can't see it. Well, if you can't see it, you can't call it, I should say.
Sterling taking time. Talk a little smack on Styles.
Sends him in hard. Shocking back elbow. AJ, no choice. Right into it, nowhere to go. Goes to that cover. AJ kicks out, but not a lot of luster behind that kick out, Kingdom.
Joe, Dr. Kingdom's diagnosis is broken nose. Blood is not stopping. And it is bothering Styles. You can see
it to be fatal for Styles.
Absolutely.
This early on to suffer an injury that important to your endurance and your senses.
Double underhook submission.
Sterling could go a lot of ways from this. All right, second one. AJ goes to the breadbasket.
Oh, right in the jaw.
Look out. Oh, Sterling puts Bryce Remsburg in the way of AJ.
Twice now, Bryce Remsburg is given opportunity to switch momentum in this match.
You want to talk about using your surroundings to the best of your ability. Wait a second, here comes the Helter Skelter. And look at the arch on AJ's back. Only has 5 seconds to apply it before it becomes illegal and a disqualification.
Smart move by Keenan, though, using those 5 seconds to wear AJ down even further. If he's having trouble breathing through that nose, if he's mouth breathing now, then he doesn't have any other way to get oxygen into his lungs.
You can tell it did its damage in just those 4.5 seconds it was applied.
Choke him out.
And certainly that's going to hurt the breathing even more of AJ Styles as time goes on. But right now AJ gets the flip. And Sterling catches him and drops him in a spine buster too. Kick out by AJ and Sterling. Audibly disappointed that he did not get the 3 count.
AJ Styles' blood staining the attire of Sterling James Keenan. Keenan growing more intense as the match continues.
Setting him up. No, right for the standard chin lock.
For the huge rear chin lock.
Sterling with a bait and switch there, keeping AJ on his toe. Guessing. It was already woozy.
Not enough to beat up AJ Styles. Sterling James Keenan is looking to tick off every AJ Styles fan in this building.
And he's going to love doing it. Sterling doesn't just want to win. He wants to win in style. And it's AJ with the back elbows to back Sterling up into ropes. Gotta wonder, Kingdom, at this point, we have the potential to possibly see a Sterling James Keenan Abyss final. What would that say to us? We saw Sterling and Abyss have a little altercation, no turning back. What would happen? Would somebody lie down? Would we see the end of the alliance?
I'll tell you what.
Wait a second. Springs him with the forearm. Oh, desperation move by AJ.
Desperation, but highly effective. Keenan is dazed.
Oh, and you can hear that right. Second one connects right to the top of the cranium. Ducks the third, but gets drilled with a DDT. 2. Sterling gets that shoulder up. Would you consider this Sterling James Keenan's toughest test today here in 1PW?
Absolutely.
And he's definitely holding his own.
Not just for the opponent, but also for what is at stake.
Wait a second. Backcracker.
Oh my God.
Ring positioning saved AJ's life right there.
Too close to the ropes. His foot drained the bottom rope.
Over or under it, but still enough to cause the cover to be no. And that took too much time.
And that was a result of the impact of the move itself. I don't think Styles even knew where he was to put his leg over the rope.
If it wasn't for that ring positioning, I think AJ Styles would be eliminated from this tournament as we speak. Look out, fireman's carry. Gonna drop him here. No, took too much time. AJ counters. Roll up, but no. Sterling able to roll over. He has a pinning attempt. AJ kicks out. Jumping into Gurry kick. Sterling gets wiped out, never saw it coming.
Well, Styles tried to fight the pin attempt. Sterling never got it the way he wanted. Was able to throw him off. Recover before Keenan could. And plant some shoe leather firmly into his skull.
Let's go, AJ! Let's go,
What's he going for? Is he going for the Clash?
Looks like he is.
Styles wants to end this. If he's going for the Clash, no, he has to move away from it.
Absolutely. Sterling got that ring positioning in mind. Reversal of the whip. Oh my God, what a kick. Oh, connecting perfectly. Styles clash. My God.
Oh my God, I think Sterling James Keenan is dead.
Sterling gets dropped with authority. I think flashbacks to Frankie Kazarian on the pay-per-view.
All right, we hope you guys enjoyed that match between AJ Styles and Corey Graves, or AKA Sterling James Keenan from back in the day. That was his wrestling name. But
now he's a referee.
And now
for NWA.
That's not the same Keenan family.
Kevin Keenan?
Kevin Keenan is not related to Corey Graves.
All right, news to me.
He's another one of those Philadelphia Eagle bums that are out there, huh?
Hey.
Yeah.
You listen to me.
You guys roll together.
Kevin Keenan may be a bum. He may be a bum, but it has nothing to do with the Eagles.
Blue Meanie, all you guys are all just these Philadelphia just dirtbags.
Keep the Meanie's name.
You gonna smack me next?
Out your damn mouth.
I love Blue Meanie. I really do. I think he's a fantastic person.
He does not care for you.
Yeah, he loves me. He loves me. Brian, my guy. Trust me, we're good. Listen, we hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of the Wrestling Hour. I know I have. Tag team wrestling is my favorite kind of wrestling out there.
Yeah, it's because you only had to do half the work.
Fair. That's fair. I mean, yeah, that one made me laugh. Tag team wrestling is some of my favorite wrestling out there.
My favorite too.
Oh, Josh.
Sorry, I have a tickle.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with. I'm going to get a call tomorrow. Hey, man, I got COVID. So,
I'm not going to get COVID. You know why?
Well, don't even.
Because I don't slap hands.
Neither does Danny Moff.
That's why he doesn't have it anymore either.
That's called a callback. Enjoy the rest of your week. Please subscribe to the channel, the Premier Wrestling YouTube channel. Just eclipsed not too long ago, over 23,000 subscribers. So thank you to everybody that's been tuning into everything, not just us. We got us, The Fight Factory, Gabby AF. You got Ted DiBiase, RVD. Mike Chioda's got his own show with Efren. You got so many.
Did you see? That was great. That was great what you just did. We don't need Tommy D. You just let everybody know what this was excellent. Stop being so hard on yourself, thinking you need to bring Tommy D in here because you don't have the talent. I don't know who told you. I don't know the many, many, many people who told you that you don't have talent. But I'm here to tell you that you are ever so slightly better than Tommy D. And that you stick with it.
One day I'll get to the big time.
Proud of you, kid.
I'm going to do it, mama. I'm going to do it. Anyway, for Dave Sturchio, Josh Shernoff, this has been another episode of The Wrestling Hour. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.